Hello, everybody, and welcome to Save or Die Outcasts. It's been a little while since we've all been together, but let's hop right into it. Where last we left our party, you had a lovely conversation with some elves and this old woman in this like little cabin outside of Arkveld. Does anyone remember that woman's name? Because I sure don't.
Her name was
Mary, right?
Marisa May. That was what her name was. And she was a lovely lady, strong and stable forest lady.
You know, that's actually not terribly far off. Her name was Martha, I'm pretty sure, and Theresa May is real close.
Is it? She's still
Vanessa? Martha?
I'll take my
I guess
bonus
so.
experience. Don't worry, I remembered.
Yeah, it's good enough for me.
All right.
At least I think her name was Martha. Great. And what did you learn? What was the takeaway from this meeting in the woods with these elves?
I believe that Ren has the best story since he was the one who was there. But my takeaway for it was essentially that Zara was leading us to our deaths.
Agreed.
Big takeaway. I would say personally, biggest takeaway was that we fucking found out who Grau is. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Who
He's
is
a forest
Grau?
gnome, and he lost his man. Zara probably did some fucked up shit to him, and also everyone's against him, and now he is 100% a Firefly.
Now we're terrorists.
Yeah. No, we're the
Right.
XCOM resistance. We're taking back.
We're
kingdom.
the freedom fighters.
Correct.
Remind me, what was Grau's real name?
Jonathan?
Hank.
I think it was Jonathan.
I don't.
Am I
Was it really
wrong?
Jonathan? Wait, now I'm Mandela effect.
I thought he kept saying like,
No, I don't think it was Jonathan.
oh, maybe.
I thought it was Chad.
It's not Chad. Jonathan's the name of the bird judge
God.
in the D&D
How did I
movie.
forget this?
Good movie.
Jonathan? Is that you, Jonathan? Jonathan?
Because I remember the Firefly kept referring to you as said name, and then he was like, "Would you like to be called Grau? You seem to be getting agitated." Something like that.
Yeah,
don't
well,
remember
he's
his name,
sticking with Grau, but there's still an important piece of information.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
it.
chat said. Yeah.
Got it.
Romeo.
Nice one, chat.
Thank you, Greasy in chat.
For passing the test, we tricked you. We all remembered, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. So you're Jeremiah. At least part of you is Jeremiah. And we're going to work with the Fireflies to do what? What's the goal with the Fireflies? What do they want?
They want us to destabilize this region, and the best way that they want us to do that is to kill Zara.
That's
just-
right.
What they described was a very hopeless fight against a way too strong enemy, and that our impact would be minimal, but it would still be the right thing to do. And Grau is fully 100% on board with this. He wants to kill Zara. He wants to kill Autumn. And he's gonna go on a murder spree.
Here I go killing again.
Human time.
Before
Human
you
time.
do that, we were going to wrap up our affairs, make sure that there's nothing in this area that we need to do, because once this is done, you're going to have to skip town, if you survive. Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So we're going to wrap up some affairs. We're going to murder Zara. Poor innocent Zara. And then the elves are going to help free someone's wife.
Yeah, well...
That's me. I have a wife.
Yes, you have a wife.
Okay. Well, I need to we need to talk about that once we get away from them, because they didn't really seem too concerned about whether or not they'd be able to do that. They kind of glossed over it like it wasn't a big deal, almost like they had no intention of doing that.
Oh, okay. So why don't we pick up on the road then if there's doubt about their honesty?
Well, one other thing I wanted to add is I think we might want to... Can you remind us of the city where the captain's at that we were tasked with killing by the Mift?
It was the middle one, I think.
Jaden, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all I need to
God,
know. Thank you.
everybody wants us to kill someone. You know what this is like?
Exactly.
It's like playing that. What was that game where it's like you get made fun of for being a centrist?
Disco Elysium.
Yeah, I feel like we're in that game right now. It's like they're like, pick a side, motherfucker.
Pick a side, man.
Yeah, okay, so let's pick up on we're on the road to Valebrook from Arkveld, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what happens with the elves? So we leave Arkveld, are they still there? or have they also like left
I mean,
into
you
the forest?
leave the village, the hut in the woods, and that's the
Yeah.
last you see of them. You don't know where they
Okay.
are from there.
So do they speak into more detail about sort of like what to do once we kill Zara?
I think the detail that you got was Zara needs to go, and when you've done it, because you have her trust, that's
Yeah.
why you're being
Yeah.
tasked with this.
Tasked.
Once you've done it, just head south was their plan. You could maybe come up with a different plan, but if you go far enough south, there's a big old bay over there that is free from the Rossi Empire. There's a bunch of crap in between that's not very, like, there's no good resources there. There's no good arable land there. There's no, like, stable populations there. So the Empire of Rossi just left it alone because who gives a shit about that territory? But beyond that kind of big grasslands, deserty area is a nice little something similar to like the Caribbean, maybe, but on the smaller scale with cities and towns and civilizations and all sorts of fun stuff. And you could go there.
Okay. They say.
was-
Sorry, last
There you
question. They're not saying that they'll protect us if we do this. They're just saying, do this for us and then make yourself scarce. Like, how are they going to work with us to get Ren's wife?
They have her name. They know where she is. They didn't specify how they were going to get Ren's wife or bring her to you.
Yeah.
They just kind of kept it super vague. And this is a great point because we didn't mention this last time we played. Do we think that they're completely bullshitting you, or is this the like, don't worry about it, said with confidence because, rescuing or capturing just a random noblewoman would be really easy for them? Right? She's not like under lock and key. She's not a heavily defended asset by some kingdom.
Well,
She's just
here's my thinking on it, and I think I think that Arrakis should be raising these concerns kind of like directly to the group.
I do think this is what we're back on the road heading north from Arkfeld, and you can bring this to the party.
Yeah, so I've said like kind of the same thing. Like they've not really given much detail. I say, think about it. Rescuing your wife out of that castle, is that going to be, any margin easier than killing Zara? Like, they can't get to Zara to kill her. So are we so certain that they'll be able to get to your wife and get her out?
That's actually a really good question. I hadn't considered that, but I do think it's within their power. I mean, I don't think she's exactly under lock and key, but I think Zara is a lot harder to get to than my wife would be for this specific group of people because, their very existence is hunted, whereas in our position, we have the trust of Zara.
I think also we were talking about joining the Fireflies, not just fleeing south, is what I was under the impression of.
Well, they've
don't wanna
left us without much instruction on that, haven't they?
I think, we know who/where to go after we do the deed now. Martha's cabin.
Or at the very least, nearby. Run into
I
the
don't
woods
know
near
about
there.
that. Right, let's just think about this. Zara knows that we've got a connection to the Fireflies. That's why she sent us as bait. Maybe she knows more than we think.
Shrug. I don't think she
Actually,
thinks that we have a connection anymore because we turned in the one that we did, and she sent us with, I point to the flag, with the flag to get us killed by the Fireflies.
Yeah, but she knows who Grau is,
well,
Does she?
doesn't she?
I don't think so.
I feel like she must. Does she knows that we know who I am?
Shrug. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm just
what
wondering
if she...
that. I'm wondering if she might not suspect that we've met with them.
Yeah, especially if we come back alive and unharmed.
Exactly.
This mission could have been some sort of test, right? If we get attacked, well, then she knows that the Fireflies are against us. If we come back and there's no attack when everyone coming down this way has been attacked, it's going to look very odd.
Could be that they've just moved on, I suppose. But yeah,
I think you guys are being paranoid. I don't think that she can put those together and seem like a sane woman.
she's a wizard. She could have been reading our mind at any time.
She's not a woman. She's a wizard.
Is that true? Can you just read people's mind, Arrakis?
I cannot, but it can be done. Yeah. Back in wizard school.
Shrug.
couldn't get away with anything. The teachers were always reading your mind.
That sounds invasive.
Well, yeah, it was, but the Empire
I remember
was invasive.
I had a tutor called Joseline, and if she had read my mind, I would have been in a lot of trouble.
I'm sure if she'd have read your mind, Ran, that she would have slapped you on the face.
I don't doubt it.
Well, we finally have something that's uniting all of us. I say that we don't throw that away for nothing. I think handling Zara at the bare minimum will be something good for the realm. Maybe we can, before we do it, have another discussion with the Fireflies. Maybe we can find another reason to come back to Arkfeld and really nail things out.
I feel like
Sorry, Ren. You speak.
I feel like our decisions have been very wishy-washy, and like we've just been kind of sitting around and not really getting anything definitive done. And yeah, and I think this is really about Grau, and I'll turn to and I'll indicate him, and I think this is where we should take Grau's lead, because this has all been about him from the beginning, and that's just what I feel is right, is that he should have the biggest say in what we do and where we go.
Well, before Grau speaks, I will say, I'd rather do it for Grau's sake than for the elves.
Exactly.
I will do it for the sake of literally everyone that got killed instead of me. I think it's mostly about those people.
Well, there we have it.
So we know what we're doing. How are we doing it?
Okay. Well, first thing, we've got to go back to Valeberg and take these lodestones to her. We're going to have to be careful what we say. We're going to have a story. Like, do we just say that it was smooth sailing and we never saw, we didn't know anything about elves, and if she questions us, we just play dumb?
I think Ren should go back first and do some reporting to Zara. He was sent on a mission. He should obviously show up first, probably not with us. And he would just say, the elves never attacked. And then a day later, we'll show up. It's faster to travel as one than as a group.
That's true. I think a modification of that story is the best lies contain a lot of truth. A modification of that story is I can say that I was investigating some of the people in the town of Arkfeld, and I found some elves operating in the nearby area, but I was spotted by them and they took off, and that's why they didn't attack you.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
That sounds better, yeah.
Because they realized that they were being hunted down.
Okay.
Contains a little bit of the truth.
Yeah. So let's say you go, let's stop at an inn somewhere, Ren, and you keep traveling ahead of us. Maybe give you a 2 or 3 day head start.
Yep.
You get to Zara first, and you can come back down the road and let us know what happened, and then we can return with the lodestones after that.
Perfect. I'll head off as soon as we're done discussing.
And listen, I came to this area for a reason. And, if you'll go with me on this mission, I'll tell you more of the reasons why, but you already know about the tomb, and
Nice.
There's something in Emberstone that I have to see to. If I'm to leave this place for a unforeseen amount of time, I'll have to see to that before we leave.
So you would prefer to visit Emberstone before we make a move against Zara?
That's correct.
And what if a perfect opportunity presents itself before we get a chance to go to Emberstone? Are you okay if I take that opportunity?
If you can see her off yourself, Ren, then I'll have no reason to be concerned for my own safety.
Neil, really
Always
quick,
the optimist.
remind me, the Fireflies told Grau where to go next to learn more about what happened to his specific kind. Was this in Emberstone?
This was deep in the capital. Like, however long it takes you to get to Emberstone, which is a little over a month, it would be maybe 2 to 3 times that travel time to get to the capital. And that's where Jeremiah was supposed to have been taken after a bunch of people were interrogated. That's where that torturer guy was, the disciple of whom's tomb you were at.
Yep. This is something that doesn't have a lot of urgency to Grau, actually, surprisingly. Like, he kind of knows a lot now. obviously he wants to know more about what exactly happened, but it seems to him that this isn't the highest priority right now, and even in his mind, it seems more important to put an end to what is happening and to make sure that something like this doesn't happen, rather than for him, for his own selfish sake, to find out exactly the details of what happened, especially because this is also so far away and stuff like that. So it's in the back of his mind, but he's not necessarily going to bring it up for the plans like too much here right now.
Okay. If we're talking about destabilizing the region, what about the captain and Jaden? The myth wanted us to do that.
Well, if we're killing Zara for Grau, how does Grau feel about the captain and Jaden?
Remind me of the captain and Jaden.
Remember those two grouchy guys we met? They wanted us to kill a captain, right?
I don't remember this at all.
I think it was two men we found in a forest and we had a altercation with.
That's correct.
Exactly. They worked with the apparently the Myth Knights is what it sounded like. They were with a group similar to the Fireflies, but not exactly.
Yeah, I don't know who these people exactly are, or who this captain is. I mean, we could look into it more, but
Well, I do have an idea. If we kill Zara, let's say it'll be a tall ask to even escape the capital, the castle, never mind the city. But traveling all the way down south on their roads is going to be dangerous. You know, there will be people looking for us. Perhaps the Miffed Knights, if we could get in touch with them, could provide some cover for our escort south. We could
That's actually a very good idea.
kill this captain for them, arrange an escort south. You know, we could hide in a carriage or something like that.
I like this. So, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, you're saying we kill this captain, make an alliance with the Miffed, and then when we kill Zara, they will help us get out.
That's right. Yeah, and if we are going to travel to Emberstone, which will take at least 2 months there and back, never mind time to work there. You know, if we kill the captain and Jaden and then we make a quick exit north, we'll be gone for months before, while they do their investigations, we'll be nowhere to be seen. Might be quite good for us. Lay low for a little while.
I like it.
Okay.
Sounds like we got to find a dead captain.
I'm trying to think, Koibu, did they say how we were going to meet them again? Pretty much, I think what I remember is if we killed the Miffed. It was like if we killed,
leave his head on a pike and go back to Swampside, and we'll find you there sometime later when it, you know, after we get the sign that you've done this, then we know that you're in Swampside, and we'll come looking for you. And so it would be like a lay low in Swampside for a while until they find you.
That's fine as well, because I hate to
you got a
break it to you
shop
guys.
there.
Well, there's one more thing. The spells in the tomb. I'll need to copy them down if I'm to leave. It'll take me some time. Perhaps you could lay low in Swampside. I could spend some time in the tomb. We could split up when we get back across the swamp after visiting Emberstone.
So what's the timeline on this then? We go to Valebrook, we talk to Zara, we get our reward, then we kill the Jaden captain, and then go to Emberstone?
Yeah, and then when we
Come
get
back.
back, I'll split off to the tomb. You guys go to Swampside and make the deal with the Miffed. And we'll meet back up somewhere and then head to Zara.
Grau, you talked about Autumn. When would you want this to be in the timeline?
You can wait. So the Fireflies have a plan for her. They've thought
that's
about it
true,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And I intend to follow that plan and not reveal us too soon. I think that I'm in a very valuable position when it comes to Autumn, because I do believe that she still trusts me and that I can gain more of her trust. And I believe that she thinks that I'm still indebted to her and see her as an important figure in my life, and I think we could use that to our advantage.
All right.
So if our goal is to head south, it did kind of sound like the the Fireflies would want us to go there. Hopefully we can meet back up with them further down the line once we're in this southern land of plenty.
I agree. I'm assuming that's where they want us to go, and Worst case, if we're on the way, we can talk to the Martha person and have them send a message that we're going to be south and we want to continue working together. Again, my whole goal here is to... I don't think I'm ever going to take my kingdom back, but at the bare minimum, cause mayhem for the Varasi Empire, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. I think I leave it there with August, but at some point further down the road, I'll sidle up to him alone and I'll say, you know, August, if you were ever going to regain your birthright, it would be infinitely more easy to do this within Zara's favor.
I shrug. The Varasi Empire, I think, killed my entire family. And even though my family were monsters, they were mine.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of suffering under the Varasi Empire, and I don't really think that it's ever going to work out working with them. I mean, look at Grau, for God's sake. Look what they turned him into.
To be sure. They can't be trusted. Just as long as you know what you're giving up.
And none.
Put
Grau
a
is-
hand on his shoulder and leave him to walk on his own.
Grau was a little bit hurt by that comment.
Well,
I don't think Grau was there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I say this to August on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My
You're
bad, my bad.
saved.
Yeah, and then I drop back and leave August to think about that.
That fucking monster over there. Oh, look what they did to him.
Yeah, I think August's
Wouldn't want that to
opinion
be
is
you.
pretty much kind of what we talked about in the past that Koibu had shot down, of uniting the Mift, the Fireflies, and then there was like one other splinter group, and having all three of them hopefully work together to like form like a real rebellion, because alone they're kind of fucked just doing like small little things, but if like they're all together, it could be actually pretty...
Thing is, though, like the sad thing is, like even if they could overthrow the Empire and take back Vale Brook, it's only a matter of time before the Empire send forces to recapture it. So it's ultimately doomed to fail unless it could spark like an uprising elsewhere in the Empire, right? I mean, I think what we do
that's
is
the
like,
whole goal, yeah.
yeah, like I think it's enough for us. Like if we can kill Zara and at the same time let the Mift know what's happening in our plan, and you know, it at least presents them with an opportunity to do something if that's what they were intending to do. But I don't think that's our fight.
It's one of the things where we're probably going to kill Zara. This area is going to get like hardcore locked down, like totalitarianism, and then it's going to spark a lot more people like fucking hating it. And the other regions might hear about it, and then by the time that they're hearing about it, it sounds like the Fireflies are going to go over there and cause problems. So it's truly like starting up a rebellion.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on board. Let's do it.
Okay. So, Jamie, you are heading up the road. You're going to get there first, right? Everyone else is going to hang back for a little while. How many days ahead of the party do you want to be?
Somewhere in the region of 1, 2, or 3 is fine.
Great.
I'm not going to shoot for a very specific amount. Just want to get there before them.
Okay. Now, you're going by yourself, maybe tagging along with other people as they travel the road. It's not a well-traveled road, but if you do run into someone, you could walk with them for a while or have some level of companionship and danger warding off. But you do run into one interesting thing along the road. Would you be traveling with people if you can? Or are you going to try and keep to yourself?
Depends on the type of the people and how quickly they were moving. If they were... I don't know. I can't remember if I'm on horseback or if...
You're on foot. Just roll me a d20. A high roll indicates you're traveling with people. A low roll, there wasn't anyone good to travel with.
Okay,
No, you're
one.
definitely by yourself.
I'm on
Yeah.
my own. A lonely road.
Based.
Yeah. You come across an odd scene, maybe most of the way to Vale Brook, somewhere around here on the map. If you're looking at the map, this spot right up here.
Right.
It's pretty close to Vale Brook. This is where the forest is pretty dense as well. That kind of intersection of the forest is bleeding into the lighter woods. And on the road, you come across the body of a young nobleman. but it has been completely ripped open, like had its chest cavity pried back with its ribs split out, as if something either tore him apart or popped out from within him. And his face is twisted and contorted in a look of ghastly horror. But he's just like laid out on the ground. And this big chest wound is the only sign of death. There's no like damage to his face. There's no damage to his legs or his arms. And his shirt is ripped open.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, his pants are torn off as well, or at least like ripped at the belt area. So he's in a pretty terrible state. And it's just this one, he looks like a young nobleman by himself. There's you didn't run into any other young noblemen or a retinue or anyone that would be with him. Maybe they were heading the other direction. Maybe he was out here alone. Maybe they wandered off. Who knows? But it's just this one abandoned body on the road.
And is he on the road? He's like on the road or just off the road?
Right in the middle of the path.
What the fuck? Okay. I listen out to see if I can hear. I'm taken in a little bit of shock here for a moment, but my mind is like, okay, whatever the fuck did that could still be around. At a glance, like from a distance, does it kind of look like it happened today? Like, does it look old? Like it's been over here a while? Or could this have happened yesterday?
No, looking at this body, it looks pretty fresh. Like he hasn't started to smell yet fresh. Like earlier today.
Okay. I am going to do... Is it very windy out? Is it a calm day? I'm going to try to detect noise.
Nice and calm. Yeah.
I'm going to try to detect noise, see if I can hear anything. I'm also going to try to hide while I think about things. I failed my detect noise.
Yeah, you just hear the sound of what very, very gentle rustling that there may be. Some birds in the distance. You know, the sound of your own heartbeat and the shuffling of your own footsteps.
Okay, I'm going to look at the body and see... Can I see like blood trails? Is there like evidence that something, whatever did this, left? You know? And like, what do you want me to roll to like see? It's like I don't know how far away I am, but like to get a sense.
So I'm imagining you're not gonna stop and search this place for an hour, right? You're doing a pretty quick. Just give me a perception check just to see if there's anything that stands out to you that's pretty obvious.
17.
Right away. Without getting closer, without spending some serious time, from a distance, no.
Okay. This is pretty freaky, pretty strange. I am going to... So here's what's going through my head. It's like, okay, best case survival is to go back down the road, and that's like 100% safe. But it doesn't look like there's anything. I haven't heard anything, and I kind of like, I don't know that I failed, right, in my head. So I'm like,
right,
okay, I'm taking precautions. So I'm going to draw my my shadow blade. I'm going to hold it in my hand.
Yes, because you are standing in the shadows. Or you can, step into the shadow of a tree since you're in a forest.
Yeah, and well, mainly just to have it at the ready.
Okay.
I'm going to stand sort of silently against the tree and just observe for like a few minutes, just waiting to see if I hear anything move, if anyone else comes down the road, just waiting 5-10 minutes.
Sure. You very, very slowly begin to fade into the shadows. It takes like an hour to fully disappear, but you're beginning to sort of bleed into the darkness a touch. You wait 5-10 minutes. You don't see anything. No people show up. No animals show up. Nothing changes. It's just you and the corpse.
Okay. I'll make my way towards it slowly, picking my way through, trying to move very, very quietly. I'll give you a move silently check to see if I can nail it. Boom. 0 successes. Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Um,
Well,
and I make
do
my
give me
way
a dex check,
little
because that's
bit
just
closer.
your guaranteed silence. This is your
21.
moving quietly. Okay, nice. You do sneak up nice and quietly. Someone would need to do a pretty good perception check to hear you. You can get up to the body. And now that you're closer and you're looking for different signs, give me a second perception check here.
Okay, here you go. Boom. 27.
Yeah. There's these footprints in the dust. They've got these well, you were a warrior for a long time. You were a soldier. You've trained sub warriors. You trained August. You trained these other people way back when. You recognize the imprints in the sand and the dust of bandaged feet. Like a soldier who's lost his boots but needs to still travel might take bandages and wrap them across his feet. That sort of horizontal patterning in the ground, that's sort of uneven, of where bandages might lay across the bottom, the sole of your foot. You see a couple of these bandaged foot marks around, and then they seem to lead from an area just off the trail, which is still kind of like a dirty path. There's not much grass growing in the shade of the trees. But when you get over to this area where the footsteps come from, you notice that they change over here. They don't look like bandaged footprints anymore. Instead, you see two small, slim, petite footprints kind of placed side by side, right in front of a tree that's been chopped down at about waist height. And the footprints face towards the tree. And then, behind them, their heels are pointing towards the body, is where these bandaged footprints go towards where the young man is dead.
Okay,
And
so
then,
the small footprints start at a tree.
but they don't go anywhere. It's just a single pair of small footprints by the tree. Not like child size, but like a small person, like someone who's 5'2", 5'5".
And then it turns into bandaged footprints as it makes its way towards whatever happened here, and then towards another tree.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the red circle is the tree for some reason.
Okay.
And the darker red, we've got these two little footprints. And then we've got this magenta. I'm just going to do a dotted line of where they head over here to the body. And then there's, a little pool of blood around the body. And then these other footprints do this. And then they kind of get lost in the woods after a little while.
Oh, shit. And what happened? What is this? Did you say this was a stump?
It's like a stump that comes up to about waist height.
Oh, okay. My mind is immediately okay, some kind of angry forest creature. Does the stump look fresh? Like it was cut down recently?
No, it actually looks kind of old. Yeah.
What the fuck? I've never heard or seen anything like this. Can I even, in all my days of education, have I ever heard of anything even remotely like this?
I mean, your mind immediately races to any sort of magic that could change your footprints. But other than that, that's a huge net to cast. Nothing specific rings to mind. Give me an intelligence check.
All right, here you go.
The best
Boom.
intelligence
My
check.
best stats.
No.
And 17.
Nah, bro. Yeah.
So when I look at these footsteps, if I put my foot beside the footstep, how much bigger are the bandaged footsteps than mine?
A lot bigger.
I'm gone. I continued down the road.
Right. On the road you go. The rest of the party. Someday you're walking down the road and you come across a body.
Oh my god.
Does it look fresh, Neil?
It looks like a day old.
It's a day old. Yeah.
Same description.
Okay,
Yeah.
I examine it. Can you tell me the thing about the footprints again? So you're saying
Yeah.
the footprints change?
Well, I'm going to need fresh perception checks here because after a day, these footprints might not be here anymore. So,
I'm in bear form, by the way.
Mm.
I am less likely
Alright.
to be surprised.
Yeah,
Nice.
Arrakis,
Yes.
with your perception check, you can see these bandaged footprints, but you probably don't understand that they're bandaged. You just see these like weird footprint marks in the ground.
Okay, so
And,
they start
I
at the
need a
stump and they're weird footprints going towards the body.
There are impressions near the stump, and then there are weird footprints, large footprints. Footprints are like, something that must be more than
Like a
7 feet
giant?
tall.
Oh,
Not more than 10 feet tall, but more than 7, somewhere in that like, upper 7, 8, 9 area.
Nothing I
and
would
they
have ever
are-
seen in like the woods or anything.
Oh man, not in the woods where you're from. No, probably not.
How strange.
There aren't a lot of giants in this area. And
I crouch
maybe-
down and
maybe-
examine. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I crouch down and examine the corpse and the wound. Try and determine if it's
Ripped open.
something ripped open from the outside or the inside.
It's just you bones pulling out.
You
Guts
think a bear did this,
exposed.
Growl?
It's hard to tell if it was pushed out or if something dug in and then pulled out. Unless you have a healing proficiency.
No, but I've got animal law.
Come again, August. What did you say?
Do you think a bear did this? I ask my bear.
Neil, does it look like a bear did this?
Bear can't talk, so
Yeah, well, you can nod.
I mean, in theory, a bear has claws. If you carefully put your claw, like mechanically, it's theoretically possible.
Possible,
this
but like
is
it wouldn't.
not.
A bear wouldn't do this. Like I
A
am
bear
in
wouldn't
the
just
mindset of
rip someone's
yeah.
And then
open.
leave it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
shake my head.
So are the organs still intact?
Do you have a healing proficiency?
No.
Do you have an anatomy proficiency?
I've got animal law. I can give you animal law.
You're not even sure what organs you're looking at.
Well, are there organs there?
I
Does it look like
There's
his
a
body is
bloody
full?
mess.
Okay.
okay. Hear me out here. Organs very nutritious. If a bear
true.
were to ever eat a corpse, like he would look for that. So this is something that I should be
Yeah.
very familiar with. No.
Maybe. But you're the bear expert here, so you correct me if I'm wrong. But would a bear pick through organs, or would the bear just eat everything without paying too much attention? Like,
I think
would a bear
I'm pretty
know-
sure most animals that eat other animals specifically go for specific organs because they have nutritional value to them. Yeah.
The liver,
All right,
right?
then.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
take that
liver
from
and
you.
stuff like that. Yeah.
So snooping around in bear form, getting your nose and your claws in there and poking through things, you can see that the heart and the liver and the thymus have been removed.
Okay. I'm assuming this would go that Arrakis just asks me, are all the organs there?
Yeah.
And I shake my head.
Are they gone or eaten?
I shrug my paws. I wouldn't know how to tell the difference.
Right. I roll my wizard sleeve up. And I reach a hand into the chest cavity of the man, and I try and attempt to pull out an organ of some sort.
Yeah, you get your hand on something and you pull it out and it's goopy and it's slippery. Make me a dex check.
Oh, what the hell are you doing, Arrakis?
I just let me think.
Let him
August.
cook.
Let me
Yeah,
cook.
no, you kind of grab out this one thing, trying not to get both your hands dirty, but it's slippery and it kind of slips and it falls on the ground. You can pick it up and dust it off.
That's fine.
But it is messy.
My check is to see like if it's got any damage on it. Like I'm trying to work out have the organs been removed carefully by a steady hand with purpose, or have they just been like eaten by a beast, and therefore there might be collateral damage on the other organs that remain.
The intestines look like they've got slashes all the way through them. The lungs look pretty badly damaged.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you pulled out here is intact and doesn't look damaged at all. But there's other things in here that look.
So I throw the organ bit back into the chest cavity, and then I like get some dirt off the ground and like rub the blood off my hands and try and dry it on the tree stump where the footprints start. And I say, well, whatever he was, this was a violent, bestial death. I mean, we haven't got Ren with us. I only assume that he walked past this as well and carried on north, and I suggest we take his lead.
Maybe it happened after Ren came by. Maybe it is Ren. I'd make sure it's not him.
No,
It's not a
Ren.
kid, so
Oh, thank God.
It's too young, too handsome to be Ren.
Well, looks like there's some footprints going into the woods. I mean, Grau, can you pick up a scent?
I can attempt to track. How do we do my tracking ability again? We've done this like a million times. Since it smells so good, has a 50% chance to pick up a lead. Is that what it is?
Yeah, this has been, it's a day old, so give me your D100. You want low?
I got you.
I should have Nick roll it.
Yep.
45.
There is, I mean, first off, there's the obvious smell of death, right? Rotting corpse nearby. But there is another smell nearby. You can't, with a 45, because it's a day old, you can't quite identify. You can't put your nose on what this smell is. You know how scent is like linked to memory, right?
Yeah.
The memory associated with this smell is terrifying danger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I? There's no direction in which I pick up where this might be going, or
No, we were looking for a 30 or lower after a day.
I'm
Yeah, I
looking
make
for a
a-
69.
I make a disgusted face and like burrow my snout a little bit in like the grass or something, and it's very obvious that I don't like this, and I also can't follow it.
I say, shall we keep moving north?
And not.
All right. I like. How many hours are left in the day, Neil?
6.
Traveling hours. Fantastic.
What happened to my horse?
I cast Phantom
With
Steed
you.
and get on my own
Thank
horse.
God. Nice. I'm already on my horse.
Let's get out of here.
All right. You guys take off. It's
Come
fine.
on, Schnickelfritz.
How do I keep up with the horses?
And, get
We
a jog on,
go
mate.
slow, you know.
Yeah, we go slow.
Yeah.
Surely a bear can run. My horse only goes movement speed 20, so it's not that fast.
Bears are not very good long distance runners.
All right, fine. We slow down. Or if you turn into a gnome, I guess you can get on the back of my
yeah,
little
yeah.
cart.
That's true, yeah.
Let's do that.
Come on, Grau. Get on my horse.
Giddy up,
Well,
boys.
what about Stacy?
Oh,
Oh,
Stacy.
then-
Fucking hell.
yeah, she's on my horse, and the
Grau
other
can go
guy
on mine.
Grau's with him, yeah.
All right.
Normal animals shun from the Phantom Steed. I wonder, does Grau have any revulsion, or is his brain power too high to be like intimidated by it?
I think he gets regular magical, like it's a magical beast, but that's probably it. I don't think you're naturally afraid of it.
Cool, yeah. All right, let's
I
get
mean,
going.
unless you feel you are. Can't tell you how you feel in your heart.
No, I don't actually mind this at all.
I actually just want to clarify that Grau obviously rides in between Arax's legs rather than behind him. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that way we can both see, and it's like it's cozy and cute.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Oh, yeah, Chad brought it up. I think my horse did die to the spiders. So
Schnickelfritz died to the spiders?
I think
Really?
so. I think so. Because I
Oh,
remember
that's
What
right,
the
because
fuck
you had
are
to
you
pull
riding
the...
I'm not writing
You had to-
anything.
We all look at August as the horse disappears and he falls to the ground.
That's right, you're actually pulling a cart, August.
Yeah, I'm pulling the Me and Stacy are taking turns pulling the car. This sucks.
Yeah, we
From
laugh.
riding horses to pulling carts.
Yeah,
Okay.
terrible.
That's great. I'm
Well-
imagining the animation where we all look at him as we realize the horse is dead and it disappears and he falls to the ground. And then the crate appears behind him, the carriage. Okay, anyway, the cart, I mean.
Back to our dear friend Renatus Fur. You get to Valebrook. It's been a while since you've been here last. It's been probably a month since you guys left Valebrook. And you're back in the city. Surrounded by woods, a little bit of farmland. Road goes in one way, road goes out the other. Can't explain that stuff. And there's Zara, somewhere deep in the middle. She's got that little fort next to the castle where the royals live, deep inside Valebrook. And today is your day to return to her. And I think you do have your dogs in tow. We've kind of forgotten about them. I imagine they were just with you.
Agreed.
Yeah. They're side characters. They don't get mentioned very often.
Just like the ferret. It's with you
exactly.
too.
ferret is with me, and my kitten.
Ferret's getting old,
Picked up a
though.
new kitten. Remember?
That's right.
Who remembers the kitten's name? For a gold.
Abic? No, that's the ferret.
Kitiara?
It's a constellation. Orion.
That's it.
Chairman Meow.
Tip of my tongue. Tip of my tongue.
Tip of your tongue. There you go. His name is Orion, and he's a cream tabby. Beautiful little kitty. Yeah, no, I'm just here. I mean, I got dogs. I mean, we haven't done a whole lot of combat, so I haven't had to unleash the hounds.
We've got a fucking Beastmaster over here. What's this? So we've got a ferret, a dog, 2 dogs, and a
Listen,
cat
dude.
now. No,
It's
it's
a
fine.
hoarder.
I'm building a menagerie, okay? A menagerie trois.
Yeah, we don't need human companions because they can leave and pass judgments. We need animal companions that will just do as they're told and
True.
love us unconditionally.
They
They're
don't take
cheaper
your
too.
money.
I
Do
need
more
you
damage.
to learn how to permanently enlarge dogs. That's what I need you to do, Arrakis, okay?
Yes.
He could
Or-
learn enlarge. He's
Honestly, there's
chosen not
probably
to.
spells that I can learn that.
Yeah. You're more looking
Make them
towards Crow
shadow
for that.
hounds.
Yeah.
Shadow hounds. I want them to be, like land sharks, but they like dive into the ground.
I
and
get
they come behind people and
Shadow
bite 'em.
badgers.
I get a
Yeah.
smile on my face, and I say, "Well, maybe Ren. There is a spell a bit like that in the tomb." And I give you a wink.
Ooh. Perfect.
Ren, you're alone in Valebrook right now.
Then we
And it's
teleport to
your-
Valebrook, where we weren't
Yeah.
having this conversation.
He imagines me winking at him.
I wake up in a shock. No. Yeah, I head to Valebrook. I stable my hounds at the local
As you
inn.
do.
And grab myself a pint, have a little chat with a barkeeper. Not paying much attention, not much heed. The memory of the body, the chest burst body that looked almost like
We're all
a
thinking it.
creepy rib hand laying on the ground, making me want to drown my sorrows for the evening. So I drink myself into a mild inebriation before I send word to Lady Zara that I have arrived in the city.
Excellent. Well, word comes back. I imagine you hire a runner to send a message or something like that. It costs copper to do so in this city. The message comes back that Lady Zara would like to see you this evening at your earliest convenience once regular business has closed.
Wait, can you send like a runner with like a COD, like cash on delivery, like to get the message they have to pay?
Yeah. I collect message.
Conceivably,
Okay, good.
the runner would have
That's
to
genius.
agree to it, You'd have to send
Yeah.
it to someone who could obviously pay and who would want to pay because the runner's taking the liability that the message won't get delivered.
To Zara.
He also has coins in his pouch. He can pay a few, like a silver for a runner.
You
or a
don't
couple
understand, Ren. He's greedy.
He's a lord. He doesn't have to pay
Yeah.
for messages.
Yes, he does.
I pick a fellow patron's pocket to get a single copper to pay
Smart.
this man.
Roll it. Let's see it.
Boom. One success. All I want is a
Oh,
copper
okay,
to
thank
pay
God.
this man.
Yeah. You swipe some coins, you pay the dude. It's all done. You get the message. Come see Zara tonight. But you've been deep in your cups. This tragic, brutal incident in your recent past. The cheerful music of the tavern. People hanging out, having a good time, not realizing how dangerous the road is. Not embracing the horrors of reality around them. Just enjoying themselves. Your wife is captive. Young men are slain on the streets.
It could have been me. He was almost as beautiful as me.
Almost.
My mind goes back to, now that I'm drunk, my mind goes back to the men that I killed with night blood in my hand as they slept. And I resolutely make my way to Lady Zara's place of wherever the fuck she is.
Yeah, her little mini fortress in the middle of town. All right.
Yeah, I make my way to her, and I see her guards, and I stride past them. I strut past them, ignoring them, making my way in.
Oh
See
yeah,
if they
so
stop me.
you go up to the guards. One of them starts to talk to you when you're a few feet away, being like, "Please disarm yourself." Doing the whole shebang. You start to walk right past them, and he like lowers his halberd to like block your path. And the other guard is kind of looking just surprised. No one just ignores the guards here. So the one guard is on point, the other guard's shocked. And the one that's on point says, Sir,
I'm in a hurry, lads, and I toss a dagger onto the floor at them and keep walking.
give me a charisma check at a +2.
Oh yeah, here we go. Boom. They don't buy it.
No. You say, here you go, I'm in a hurry. But like your voice slurs just enough that they pick up that like this guy's drunk and he might be getting into the wrong house or something like that. So pretty quickly.
And so I sigh and I take off my longsword and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, formalities. I take off my longsword and I drop on the floor. And I'm like, Can I bring my cat? And I have like, I hold the cat up and I'm like, oh, look at the claws. Oh, she's so dangerous.
A guard holds out his hands to confiscate your cat.
I look at him bewildered. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Is she allergic?
Sir.
Like what?
Sir.
I stared at him.
Hand over the kitty.
Show me. You got to be joking me that they told you they want to take the cat.
Sir. Don't make this more difficult than it has to be.
Okay. If a hair on this cat's head is misplaced when I'm leaving, every hair. Wait, baldness check. Does the guy have hair?
His hair quantity is 18. It's thick. It's beautiful. He'd hate
And
to
he's
lose it.
proud of it.
Oh yeah.
I'll even gently reach out and pluck one. Just say, I'll just be like, they'll all be gone, and then I hand over the cat.
Holds the cat in his one gloved hand. While the halberd's in the other. Satisfied that your weapons are gone. They let you in.
Perfect. Did he actually search me?
You dropped your sword. You threw your dagger on the ground. I think they took a peek in your backpack to make sure it didn't have any weapons, or they asked you to drop your backpack. More likely.
Yeah, idiots.
Yeah.
Did they find Nightblood? That's the real question.
Nightblood. Now this is your fancy dagger, right?
That's right.
That you've hidden on yourself.
That's right. You did the old chess master trick up the pooper.
Well,
I don't know about up the maybe.
you might die if it's up the pooper.
But if you want to try and hide a dagger on yourself, I need you to make me 2 successful pickpocket checks.
No problem.
It's
Easy clap. Boom. One success. Boom. Another success.
Done. Yeah.
Shafumph.
Yes.
I
You
always
have
got my
successfully
magic
hidden
dagger.
your dagger. You enter in. You follow the normal procedures. Someone lets you know where Zara is. They leave you outside, head into her office. A moment later, they step on out and tell you that Zara's waiting for you. And like the other times you've met with Zara, it's kind of a dimly lit room. She's on one side of a table. She's got a plate of food that's mostly finished and just pushed off to the side. You can see that there's a quarter of a bottle of wine in front of her, a glass of wine in front of her, a fire
drinking
kind of behind her. She doesn't have to open a fresh bottle every day. This might be the first glass of wine.
Come on now,
Who
Neil.
knows?
Come on, Dale.
We know that's
I
not
know
true.
you want her to be drunk, but
She's wine momming.
She is. We might get you a chance, mate.
I make my way into the room, and is there much food left over on her plate?
crumbs.
I look at it wistfully, and I'm like, I could do with some food. And I'll indicate the
shouts
chair
through the door. Ryan, bring our guests some food.
Yes, Miss Zara.
Yeah.
I will
motions
indicate the chair
for the
near
seat.
here and say, like, may I sit here, my lady?
Please.
I sit down
It's been
beside her.
some time since we've had a chat. I'm glad to see that you've made it back alive and intact.
Intact might be a bit of a stretch after what I've seen on the road.
Well, I'm hoping
I think
that's good news for us. I remember We had a deal. You help me capture some fireflies, I help you get your wife.
Well, it didn't quite work out that way. We didn't get to capture some fireflies. I did find some. Unfortunately,
She
they
sits
spotted
up,
me.
interested at this. Mhm.
They spotted me and ran off. I made my way, and I'll launch into the story, and I'll tell a very sort of abridged and slightly inaccurate version of the story. I'll say I made my way down to Arkfeld, and on the edge of the town, I found a cache from the elves, right? Like I found a place where they scoped out the town and stuff like that, and I waited nearby, and I came back at night, and I spotted them. But they spotted me and they ran off. And I say, and presumably because they know they're being hunted, I assume that they've left the area. However, that's not the only thing that's on those roads that's dangerous. On my way back, I found a young nobleman whose entire chest cavity had been exploded somehow through magic. And a beast that left gigantic footprints, and I'll like hold out my hand for however big they were. Like I'm imagining like the footprints were big. I'm like, whatever left these footprints is an unimaginably large creature, especially if it was able to do that to another human being. And I'll reach over. Is there a glass of wine, like a wine glass on the table?
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab it, and I'll kind of reach my hand out to the wine bottle, and I'll pause, and I'll kind of look at her and be like, "Is this okay?"
She gives you the single nod of acquiescence.
And I
not
take
an
the wine,
alcoholic.
knowing that this isn't my house, right? Like, you got to be a bit respectful.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trauma dumping, so I fill my wine glass and I have a sip. And I say to her, "It'll take a lot more wine than that to make me forget the image of his bones sticking up like little skeletal fingers out of his chest."
She waves away the conversation. Tell me more about the fireflies.
Awful simile. You just compare bones to other bones.
It was.
what I thought too.
I had a better.
Sorry.
I was meant to make a different simulate. Listen, dude.
Oh,
Wait until
just got
you're
roasted.
seen.
Yeah.
Listen, this is how humans talk. Sometimes they fuck
It's
up
true.
similes, okay?
It's true.
You
Yeah, you're
misspoke.
right.
Saved it. So I give her some sort of kind of useful-ish details. I filter out I sprinkle some truth with the lies, right? The best lies are close to the truth. That is something that is just, ask a lawyer. And I say, I give her, there was this many of them. I think there was 3. And I couldn't tell if they were all male, but it looked like they were all male. And they looked like they were elves, but it's hard to tell from a distance. One of them could have been human. And it looked like...
Where was this? In the town, on the forest, on the road?
Yeah, I'll say it was... I think it was roughly east of Arkfeld. I saw them sort of on the edge of a forest. And they spotted me.
What were they
and
doing?
I ran. It looked like they were waiting for someone. Like this was like a meeting place where they would meet someone.
Did you stick around after, or did you immediately come here?
Once they spotted me, I made a run for it and ran to the town. And then I'll show her the cloak where the arrow hit. And I'll say, they almost got me, but I got away.
She'll stand up and come round to your side of the table. And as she does so, you'll notice that, she's got those pouches dangling from her, multiple little sacks around her waist, indicating her spell crafting or her arcane...
Outcasting?
spell casting abilities. And you'll also see that she does carry a blade at her side. But she'll come over and lift up your cloak, just examine the hole, kind of spread it out enough to see it, and then drop it down again and head back to her side of the table.
Pickpocket check on the materials in her waist.
Oh,
Hold on.
I respect it.
Are you trying to pickpocket her stuff?
Oh, should I
if
pickpocket her
so-
spell components? There's no way that'll work out.
If you
No
do,
way.
she has a chance per level. to notice, and if you try and pickpocket any of her stuff,
That
This
would be
will go
game
very
over for
differently.
Ren. But if I was able to get away something important, like whatever her hold person component is,
Mm-hmm.
do I? Nah.
Okay. That's
I
a
don't.
big risk. Yeah. Right.
Listen, I've been
You think
rolling good
about
on I've been rolling good on that pickpocket attempt so far.
Well, let's see
but
what
I
you
ain't-
would have got.
You know what? No. It's better
Okay,
I don't
good.
know.
You'll save
Better
it.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, true.
Good.
All right. She sits down on her side. Okay. So you haven't seen if the people sent for lodestones have made it back.
My friends? No,
Your
they
friends.
they haven't. I think they may have. I don't know.
Did we
It
agree to
depends
what
on
the story would be?
No. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him
Shit.
cook.
Okay, you got this. You got this.
Wait, didn't we agree? What was it?
No, you're
We
good.
didn't. We didn't
You're
agree. Yeah,
cooking.
you're
I
good.
don't
You're-
really
you're
think we
fine.
talked about this.
Yeah, we didn't.
We really should have.
Yeah.
You got
Um,
this.
Yeah. I think they made it. I got spooked once I saw that guy with his chest burst and made my way here as fast as possible. But as far as I
What
know,
made you
they were
think they
one day
made it?
behind me.
Oh,
Well,
so
they
you
were
did
only
see
a day
them.
behind me.
Okay.
Sorry. And I'll take a sip of the wine I've been drinking.
Based.
Hmm. So if they're a day behind you, and you saw elves just outside of Arkfeld, when did you meet your traveling companions, your friends? Just trying to establish the timeline here so I can get an approximation of where the elves might be.
I think back at how many days ago it was, and I say I had a very
7
short.
days since you left Arkfeld.
I think I say I had a very short chat with them in Arkveld when I arrived, and then that was it. I ran. I said I'm going to head off on my own.
She slumps back in her chair.
Oh, can't hear you.
She slumps back in her chair, thinking, pondering.
Can't hear you. Sorry.
No,
It's
still
gone.
can't hear
I
him.
can. I can
Hello,
hear
hello?
him.
I can hear him.
This is the perfect time, however, though. Do you have disposable income? We have a Patreon for your disposable
Holy
income.
shit.
What
can I- wait, I have disposable income, sir.
/save or die. Give us money so that we don't have to get real jobs. We hate work. We all hate work.
Sir, I
Is it
have
only
so
me
much
that's fucked up?
disposable income. I have how best can I allocate it, and what are the benefits that I can get from joining this mystical program?
That's a great question. MrMouton, can you tell them the benefits they get?
You get access to our Dungeons and Dragons 2-player campaign early. As episodes get filmed, they get uploaded to Patreon, and it's going to be, I think we have 2 episodes extra that you can go watch right now. But we are going to go to break here since Ren can't hear, and we're going to show you a little trailer from a project made by Nick and Koibu. So we're going to cut to that.
Holy shit.
now.
Boom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So we're in a conversation with Zara and Renatus fur. Zara's sitting back in her chair. And she's not super psyched. She looks at you and goes, I gotta say, Ren, I can call you Ren. I didn't think you were going to be scared off as so quickly. I picked you for this. I thought you were the best man for the job. That you would keep your distance, keep an eye on them, be able to follow your party back, look out for the elves, make a move. I get it. They're terrifying creatures. Massive, murdering psychopaths who live feel for the joy of killing without any real purpose.
Ren will nod along to this horrible racism. Jesus.
Right? Let me think about this. I'm coming back tomorrow night.
Well, what I will say in my defense is there were 3 of them. And I was alone. And
Only
yeah,
3?
I like stretch out my arm and like and all the things will pop. Like, I know I was once a great warrior, but I am old. Although that said, you might need to get some new guards. And I'll reach into my cloak and I'll take out Nightblood and I'll like put it on the table, like with my finger, and I'll spin it underneath my finger like an upside down basketball. They're not very good at finding weapons, and then I'll put it back in my cloak. There were 3 of them, and I was alone in a forest with a fresh corpse that had been exploded. And I was 1 day away from Valebrook, so I chose to survive, considering the elves had not struck yet after I had mapped out all the possible ambush locations.
Did you say that you were once a great warrior?
Oh yeah.
I seem to recall your wife and you were nobles back in Vantis.
That's right.
You might have told me, but I've forgotten. What was your position or rank there?
I was brother to the king, and I was Kingsguard. Best soldier in the realm, at least, until they took that from me.
Now, I've met some retired, aged out warriors, and their skills rust a little bit, but what happened to you? This isn't... Look, you're not that old. You can still see you move.
All of my prowess was taken from me magically.
It's all coming back to me now, right? You were cursed along with that nephew of yours who was a toad for a little while. It's all coming back to me. Excellent.
Perhaps you've had too much wine.
Perhaps.
I'm not remembering those details.
Why don't I walk you out and have a chat with the guards at the front? She gets up, heads to the door, opens it for you.
I take a quick swig of the wine before I stand up and leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll follow behind you once you go through the door out to the front. She'll see that you get all your equipment, and she stands awkwardly in the doorway waiting for you to leave. And as you know, you're getting your gear back, and your kitten gets handed back to you. It's fine. In fact, when you find them, they've got like some crumbs from like a little cracker that they're feeding the little kitten and trying to get it to eat. They seem to be quite enamored with it. But once Zara shows up, you can see and feel them stiffen quite a bit. And then she just hangs out near them while you walk off into the city. And as you're saying goodbye, you can see like little bits of sweat dripping down their foreheads.
Before I leave, I want to turn off my shoulder and I'll blow Zara like a cheeky little kiss, like.
She meets you with a steely, unmoved, unfeeling gaze.
I kind of linger looking over my shoulder and give her a little wink before I walk on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. The rest of the party will arrive the next day. You'll have an opportunity to meet up with them before you run into Zara, if you would like, or you can not meet up with them. Your call.
I will meet up with them. Yes, I will meet up with them in the morning. How about you go to them, because I got to do something. It'll take 30 seconds. I'll be right
Perfect. I
back.
wanted to go to them anyway.
Perfect.
So, rest of the party. You're pulling into Valebrook in the afternoon. You haven't been in civilization for a lot longer. The closest thing to civilization you had was that piece of crap town Arkfeld. But other than that, there was that goblin village, there were the mountains, the spiders, that weird creature in the night, that weird body along the road, those badgers that killed one of your people. It's been a journey, and here you are in safety and in civilization. With
Holy
tall walls,
shit.
strong
Yeah,
guards.
it really has been a long time, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been an age.
Okay, so I look, as we get towards the city, I check the status of the cart. I mean, the lodestones are still fine. We've not lost too many on the journey.
Everything's looking peachy king.
Have we gotten XP since we went to Arkfeld?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't run into Ren before getting to Valebrook.
Correct. He's in the city. He's going to meet up with you when he can, but you haven't rearranged a meeting spot. So, like, maybe he'll just be waiting on the road in for you, or maybe you just might run into him at a place you've been together before. Who knows?
When we get to the city, I turn to Grau and August and I say, when we're dealing with Zara, are you okay for me to take the lead?
You can go ahead. I can wait. I'm patient.
Oh,
not
Arrakis,
gonna- Rip her guts out.
you're so good at talking. I'll let you take the lead.
I just need to talk for now. I intend to return the lodestones and collect our reward for now.
Sure.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's go then. We head towards
All
the
right.
city.
Yeah, you head towards the city. You arrive. They let you in the gates. Are you going straight to Zara, or are you gonna try and kick it for a bit, or do something else?
My assumption is that if we were in danger, then Ren would have come and told us. I do, however, make sure we go through the center of town. I want to look for Ren's corpse hanging from the fucking center of town, just in case, like, he's been killed. And yeah, okay. So I just make sure.
To be clear, there are bodies hanging
Yeah, I
from the
know.
gallows.
Of course.
Because we don't often talk about this, but yeah. Of course, there's thieves, traitors, murderers,
Any
whatever.
elves?
Any
no.
guards?
No
Any,
elves.
One of Sarah's guards have been hung after what happened last night, perhaps?
Can we get
they
a
wouldn't be
hotness
hung in
check
their
on the hanging
armor.
corpses?
The hottest of the hanging corpses
Jesus Christ, man.
was a
You've got to take at least a -2 for your being dead, though, haven't you?
12.
Depends on how fresh.
Pretty good.
Okay, not bad.
Okay. Yeah, I think we head straight to the keep then.
Great. You head to the keep, and there we go.
Just you, or is it all three of us going?
It's all
No, all three of us go, and I ride my phantom steed through the town.
Wait, I don't
towards
find
the,
them? I don't find
you
the
can
keep.
if you want. Yeah. You
I
can
will-
meet them before they get to Zara if you desire.
Yeah, I'll try to meet up with them and be like, all right, hey, what's up? You want to go to Zara with me? What's up? They filled
right.
in what happened the night before.
I was just checking you weren't up there, I say, looking up at the corpses, so all went well then.
Well, might be a slight exaggeration, but it went okay. She's not
Well,
happy.
I lower my voice and lean and say, well, you're still breathing at least. Not happy with us or you?
Well, the lack of prisoners.
All right, well, surely she couldn't have expected us to arrest the elves.
I think that's
say no,
exactly
no,
what
no.
she expected us to do, actually.
Well, perhaps that's what she expected you to do, and I flash a smile. I say, maybe it's best we complete our quest without your reputation sullying our name.
Okay, sounds good. And I will make my way to the pub.
Yes, I'll see you back in the tavern shortly. So,
Excellent.
I kick my phantom steed as we continue to move through the town.
Yeah.
Just for the people watching, they see August pulling the cart by hand whilst I ride a horse that's not connected to the cart. Just saying,
Yep.
that's a power play right there.
Yep.
Yeah. A horse that kind of gives unsettling vibes, and that dog's because there's plenty of dogs around, shy away from, and birds shy away from.
Maybe that's the best
Yes.
spell for Nick then.
Yeah, got him. Need something to keep the birds away, mate. Trust me.
Mm. All right. Well, the three of you will make your way through town. You'll get to the little fort next to the castle. You've been here before. They'll disarm you. They'll take your stuff, except for the lodestones. They'll hold on to that outside. And it's business
okay.
hours. So you can go in and stand in line waiting for audience with Zara.
I take a small sack of the lodestones in with me, so I've got like a sample to show her. I pick a couple of good ones.
Yeah. You stand in line. It's the normal, meeting hall. People are reporting back or, talking about what's happening. Yeah, just like giving reports of what's going on in the city, or someone's coming saying like, one of your guards has stolen stuff from my bar. Please do something. The day-to-day administration that Zara has to put up with, which is quite frankly,
Heavy as the crown.
True.
yeah, it's a terrible fucking job.
Well, we wait in line.
Yeah, you wait in line, and eventually you get your audience. If I can find the right.
So I take a look to my left and right at Grau and August, and I take a step forward and I walk towards. Is she on a dais?
No, she's at a chair behind a
second.
table on the ground
We
floor.
need
Mhm.
we need to think about something. What fucking form do I come in?
Good point.
Because wait, she knows, right?
She knows, yeah, she knows.
She
But
knows.
Doesn't matter.
I think I
Maybe
would
it
just tell
matters.
you if, honestly,
Well, don't
maybe
come
Grau
in
shouldn't even come in.
No, fuck, I think it's fine. Just come in as a human or as a gnome, and you'll be no problem.
Yeah.
I'll come as a gnome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I cast a glance at both of you. So what, is it a desk, Neil? Like, is there a chair?
It's just a desk, or a table is a better way to say it, with a black top and brown legs, and she's sitting behind it, and there's a pair of guards on her sides, and there's kind of like an audience chamber in front where people line up and other people stand around, but there's not that many people
Is there
here.
a chair
And
for
there's
me
like
to
another
sit
set
on?
of guards.
Is there a chair for me on the other side of the table, or am I meant to walk
No,
up to it?
you stand and deliver your.
Okay, so I walk
speeches.
up to the table and like give a small half a bow basically,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, Magistrate Zara, we have returned from south of Arkfeld, and I put the bag on the table and say, these are the lodestones you were looking for. There is a cart full of them outside. These are some prime examples.
Thank you. How many did you get?
A cart full, at least,
Did the goblins give you any trouble?
The goblins, well, no, not as much as the spiders in the mountain pass. But the goblins themselves were boisterous, but easily intimidated. I was surprised that previous groups had already been there before us.
They did
Successfully.
make it to the goblin village.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I'd have come with more lodestones, should I have been able to, but they were almost cleaned out. The goblins weren't too happy, being taxed so often, although I made sure that they remembered the Empire's justice is swift.
Good. Well done, Arrakis and company.
Wait, she says Sakara, right? She doesn't say Arrakis.
Tomato, tomato.
Well, no, because I'm wanted in the Empire.
Interesting if she says Arrakis.
I
is,
do
yeah.
think she says Arrakis. Yeah.
Okay. I have a shocked look on my face, but actually the implication of that is that maybe I'm no longer... okay. I look a bit concerned, but I don't address it, and I say, well, we've risked a great deal on our journey. In fact, aside from my friends here, our entire party was slain by various beasts along the way. I shall, of course, have to,
I didn't know you had more in your entourage.
well, just, handle as small guards to guard our caravan whilst we're off trekking through a cave or through a tomb or some such.
My horse died.
Yes, his horse died. A fine beast. A fine beast.
That's why I had to pull the cart from here, or to here.
But look
Good.
what it's done for
Well,
your
I'm
figure,
glad
August.
everything managed to work out in the end. She says, glossing over the deaths of beloved animals and workers on your
I'd-
behalf.
Like to be paid back for my horse, please. Or
well,
given a new one?
August speaks maybe out of turn, but I expect we will need some sort of reward, if not to pay the families of the deceased. I'm sure that's not too much to ask.
You
And
will
my
be
horse.
paid according to our agreement.
Yes? Great.
Excellent.
And my horse, ma'am?
You lost the horse in the course of your operations. It sounds like your expenses, not mine.
I sit there blinking, bewildered. Well, it was doing your task. That
August.
my
Well,
horse.
then you should have
You-
negotiated for a higher rate of pay. But she says, like, starting to shuffle through some papers. Not my problem.
He doesn't mean any harm. He speaks out of turn. The boy is young. Sarah, may I bend your ear on one other matter? I know
Yes?
that you are clearly busy. We are indebted to be put to such good use for the Empire, truly. It's an honor to serve. I speak not just for myself, but for my party and those that have died, at least died for a worthy cause. But my adventuring takes me north from the Hornstead Kingdom, and I will be traveling to Holy City Emberstone, where I was wondering, perhaps you have some errands that need running. I know that the magic shops these days have been, running
Unreliable.
short on supply. Yes, unreliable. Perhaps there's something I could pick up for you while I'm there.
That is an excellent idea. Come back tomorrow. I'll have a list prepared for you.
Very well.
You know what?
I-
Come back in 2 days' time.
Of course. At your pleasure, my lady. And I don't say my lady, I say magistrate. And then I leave.
We leave.
Without Grau saying a word.
I just want to say we never gave back the banner.
You're keeping the banner? It's like on the
She
cart.
Didn't ask for
Yeah,
it.
it's on the
my
card.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sends a person out to collect the lodestones as you leave.
Yeah.
And if you want, I mean, you're going to get out there before them. So if you want to take the banner and hide
I
it,
put the banner in my bag of holding.
Crazy.
done. Yep.
Takes the
Either the guard didn't think about it, he didn't realize you had one, or he doesn't care. But it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this to get a horse one day for the Empire.
It's a good
I'm
idea,
getting my
actually,
horse
yeah,
back,
yeah.
baby.
You can claim one.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it seem like Zara gave any sort of acknowledgement to Grau at all? Did she ignore him? Did she look at him in any way? Was there any
Yeah,
sort
she-
of interaction?
She made eye contact with you as the three of you
Yeah.
approached. Actually, four. I think Stacy was with you.
Yeah.
She would look at each of you. Arrakis did almost all of the talking,
Yeah,
and so she ended up spending most time looking at him. But she didn't avoid you or anything.
gotcha. Okay.
And you weren't invisible to her, if that was what you were hinting at.
Yeah, just
So-
mostly picking up the vibes.
Do we collect our reward, Neil? Or am I getting that in
do.
2 days? Oh, okay, great.
You will collect your reward. I just can't, for the life of me, find the notebook in
It is
which
1,000
I
gold.
wrote your reward.
Wasn't it 10,000?
I think it was 10. Yeah,
Yeah, it might have been.
I missed a zero. So silly.
Yeah, easy to do. It's easy to do. In fact, I think
Little
Neil might have
accounting
also
error.
missed a couple of zeros, let's say.
Yeah.
It happened to
No.
the best of us.
I label my notebooks specifically so this problem doesn't happen, but every now and then I can't
it's a good
find a
label.
notebook, and so then I just write it in whatever, and then
It's truly a bad solution to taking,
yeah, if only.
if only.
Clubby, Arrakis, experience points. Ren's solo experience points. That's a long time ago.
Mm.
Okay.
We
Taki
eating good
says-
tonight, lads.
I think it was like 400.
McTacky says that you never said on screen how much it was going to be.
Come on, let's roll for it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I do
rolling.
believe it was 400 for you and 100 for, I'm sorry, 50 for Ren. But she hasn't paid Ren yet. They'll pay rent. They'll
400
meet me again.
for how many people's lives? I guess she saved us money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
Horse is 50 gold?
what? Huh?
How much is a horse? 75 gold?
75 for a riding
Okay.
horse. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But 50 gold is about a month's worth of money to live a comfortable, lower middle class lifestyle.
Okay.
So 400 gold is living expenses for 8 people for a month in pretty decent condition.
So our living expenses right now are 40 gold for the PCs. My horse is dead. 2 gold for the dogs, and 10 gold for Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're down to 40, 50, 2 gold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Wait, how much gold do we have, mate? Sorry, I was not paying
We're
attention.
our living expenses are now 52 gold a month,
Yep.
but we just got 400 gold,
Okay.
which I'm gonna put in the bag of holding. Do you want some?
I've got 40 gold on me. I think that's probably enough.
All right. In the bag of holding goes 400 gold pieces.
Coolio. All right. Well, I think once we've sorted that, we head back to the tavern to reconvene with Ren, and I intend to wait 2 days before going back to Zara.
All right. Done. Party, everyone meets back together at the tavern. Let me get us some tavern music while I adjust your expenses sheets.
So as we walk in, I crouch down to Growl and I say, "Pint? Pint?"
I'm good, thank you.
I'll have a pint.
You want a brew? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I go to the bar. I look back at Growl. Wait, you sure? We've been on the road for weeks.
Come on, Growl.
It's the least you could do.
1 pint.
I don't like the taste.
Oh, what about wine?
Oh, it's an acquired Growl. You've got to stick with it. It's an acquired taste. Nobody likes it the first time they have it.
Just order him one Arrakis.
Yeah,
I
if you
didn't-
don't want it, I'll drink it.
I didn't come from the forest and stop eating raw liver and bones to then start drinking stuff that doesn't taste. I'm getting some meat
Yeah, but
pies,
wine's
guys.
like refined, Growl. It's what all the rich people drink.
I go to the bar. Do they have any alternatives, Neil? Do they have like a
They have
gnomish
hard
drink?
cider.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a good
we-
starting drink.
So, as an aside, it winds me up that Americans say hard cider, like all cider is alcoholic.
We have non-alcoholic
Yeah, like-
ciders here. Quite a lot of
Yes, well, it's just called apple juice. So let's move on.
it. It's sparkling, sir.
I also want to
It's
bring
what
up.
makes
sparkling. It's sparkling apple juice. Fine.
I also want
That's
to
what
bring
makes
up,
it a cider.
for the sake of storytelling, we've already done this scene at a different point where we had Growl taste like alcohol and you didn't like it. So he's just
Yeah, but
gonna
now it's your friends pressuring you every time you don't like something to drink
Thank
it or
you.
eat
Yeah,
it.
exactly. This is
now
realistic.
we're there.
I get him a drink anyway. I try and get him something that I don't think he's had. Like, what do the gnomes drink? Do the gnomes drink wine? Do they drink like stout? Maybe.
Fucking who
fuck
knows
it.
what gnomes drink?
Well, every time
They
we're at a
drink
bar now,
light mead.
I'm
I love
going
honey.
through the list. I'm going to exhaust every fucking drink that you have in this kingdom until we can find something that's going to get Growl drunk. So I get whatever's next on the list, like a fucking vodka and orange or something.
Oh, I got a question for Arrakis that would have asked on the road. Woo! In the flashback. Arrakis, we have these potions here. I'll pull them out and show you
My
them.
feet
Potion
are
of
killing me.
poison and a potion of pain suppression.
Pain suppression. I look at it.
I nod. What if I've always heard that there can be crazy things that happen. What if to kill Lady Zara, what if we just mixed the potions in a bottle and had her drink it? Would they
Well,
blow up in the bottle?
They could blow up in the bottle. They could seem inert and then turn her into a fucking frog. It could turn her into a dragon. Who knows? Don't mess with that, August. Trust me.
I'm just saying this seems like the easiest way to probably get rid of someone, no?
No, it would be all completely up to chance. We'd be better off if you wanted to try and poison the woman. Then we'd be better off seeking out a poison.
Well, we have a potion of poison. It comes from Tomb that we raided.
Well,
Here, I'll hand it to you. Maybe you can study it?
yeah, maybe I can. I will do that, Neil. I'm very, very close to my toxicology proficiency. I would
It's a
like to try
potion.
and determine maybe the properties of this poison potion.
How do you do that?
Taste it.
You want to
Taste it?
consume a section of the potion of poison.
You know, like I just do some tests on it. I smell it. I check the consistency.
Can we
it's
have you
close.
do all of this stuff after you get to Valebrook and have the conversations that you've had, so that way when you
Absolutely,
die drinking,
yeah.
testing the poison, we don't have to replay anything?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, he can start testing in Valebrook then.
Perfect. All right. So the party meets up with Ren again. You get Grau some drinks. He doesn't like them probably.
Nope.
The day goes on, and this evening, Grau, you're supposed to not Grau, Renatus, you're supposed to talk to Lady Zara again. Did you have anything you wanted to tell the party before you had your conversation with her?
I asked him how it went with her. I say, so how did your meeting with her go? Better than mine, I hope.
Not good. She wouldn't pay back for my horse.
It went.
Well,
I mean,
she's
it was
not running a charity.
It was fine. She seemed, we gave her the lodestones. That was it, basically. We got the gold. We left.
It's a good
How
thing.
much money did you get?
I look at Grau.
It's a good thing that she didn't ask us more questions about what happened on our travels, because we had no idea what you told her.
It's very wise, Grau. I, too, was worried about that.
Oh,
But no, she seemed not interested. We met her during her typical days holding court. She didn't have a lot of time for us.
I'm guessing she
I
also
didn't tell her
wanna-
anything about what you guys got up to.
Well, does she know that you met us on the road?
Yeah, that was it.
Well, when did
That's
you
the only
say you
thing I
met
like.
us?
I said I met you at the town. Oh, that could have gone really badly, actually. If we hadn't had our stories straight, whew, we dodged a bullet there. all
we
down
met
that
at we
trip.
met at Arkveld, and then you left ahead of us.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
that's what I told her.
It was
What did you
swimming.
tell her?
Didn't really ask.
No, she didn't ask. But what she did is call me a ruckus, which at first I was concerned about. But then I had an idea. I told her that we're heading to Emberstone, and I could pick up some components for her. And I thought I might try and get her to write me a letter of pardon. That way, the guards might leave me alone.
Ooh, that's clever.
I mean, she
Think it's
knows who
gonna
I am. Well, she knows who I am. She clearly doesn't care. So
Big assumption.
well, I don't know. I mean, how else? There's no way she could have found my name without knowing that I wanted, surely.
Maybe with magic.
Could be some magic going on there. Maybe there's more to this than meets the eye.
I will tread carefully.
Tread carefully.
Surely
You
there's
tread
a
on my
spell
dreams.
that reveals someone's true name.
I shrug. Yeah, probably.
That would have been a good
Maybe
spell
she's
to
just
cast
seen the
on
wanted
me.
posters.
Oh,
Alas, if I had such a spell, Grau, I would have cast it for you.
that's true.
I think that's a spell for better mages.
But
Rack a little wink.
well, for maybe more typical mages, not many are specialized in the art of shadow.
Is that because you hide your skills? And I chuckle
Yes.
and take a sip.
But Ren, are
Is
you
here,
sure?
though-
You sure you want to return to Zara tonight?
They're gonna bang. What do you mean?
I roll my eyes at my nephew. Fuck, jeez. Get your head out of the gutter. You're still a frog at heart.
I thought they already had.
No, we don't. I'm celibate, but for my
Oh.
wife, okay? I love my wife. She's my entire world, okay?
My wife.
You've been
My
apart for
wife.
years. You mean to say you've not laid with a woman since?
Of
I've
course
never
he
seen
hasn't.
you lay with a woman.
That's
Arrakis.
true.
Why would you?
What? Are you afraid the magic will leak out in the moment of climax?
That is a thing that can happen with wild magic, at
that's a
least.
thing. Oh, it's a thing that could happen. Oh, I bet. So, when you were a teenager, you probably didn't do a lot of that, eh? Because that's why you're so you're built up with magic.
I am, yeah. I keep it all inside. That's right.
Okay. All right.
That's funny.
Why are you so concerned with each other's procreation? I don't understand why it's such a big
It's a
deal to you.
testosterone thing, Grau.
A what?
Good question.
I heard a doctor say it one time.
Who taught you arcane words?
Your mom, actually.
All laughs at that.
Nice.
All right.
It's warmed up to your mom jokes.
He likes a good your
Evening.
mom joke and some poop humor. Huh?
Evening time approaches. Ren, time to go see Zara again. Are you intoxicated this time? Are you sober? What's your
No, this time
We were
I'm
drinking
as-
in the pub. I don't know if you were drinking.
I'm light. I've had like 3 beers. I'm
Give
fine.
me a little con check, Nick.
Little
You
con
hold it
check.
together?
Me?
Yeah, come on.
You and me, Nick. Who's holding it together better?
I'm not holding it together.
Oh, listen. Boom. Nailed it.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
Oof.
Ren's an experienced drinker, okay?
Yeah.
Strengthened his liver over years of training.
It's true.
But I do leave my dagger with Arrakis because I tell them about the whole, like, the guards are probably going to search me more effectively this time. So I leave the dagger with them.
Mm-hmm.
I covet it.
And I've got a great plan to fuck with these guards. So when I get to the guards, I assume they'll search me, do the whole thing. And
Well, when you get to the guards, you'll notice first off, they're different guards. Now, maybe they change every night. Maybe not. But it's a different set of guards. And they're real strict. You know, they're on the height of duty, and they lower their halberds together jointly to block the door when you're still like 15 feet away. And then
I say,
they're on
huh?
point with the searching.
good to see we've got a better class of guards around here. I've got 3 daggers on me and 2 longswords. Let's see if you can find them all.
How many daggers?
I only
and
have 2
longswords?
daggers and 2 longswords.
Smart. Okay.
Do they believe my lie?
They are not certain, is the answer. They give you a and then they begin to pat you down. They find the 2 and 2, but they don't find any others. And their pats, you know, they check the inside of your thigh to make sure that there's nothing there, and they do a gentle, you know, stroke between 2 hills to make sure that there's nothing sticking out like a, you know, pommel.
I'll
out the other
coo and
side.
squeal gently like, ooh, I'm ticklish. Fuck with them. Then I'll take my cloak and I'll like back up like this. I'll throw it back as I whip the cloak off and I say, are you sure you've searched everywhere?
They narrow their eyes at you and motion with a thumb towards the door, really not happy at the, you know, the amount of mockery you're giving them. They're guards. They should be respected, sir. Work for Zara.
I'll laugh and I'll say, you guys are very thorough. You did a great job. I only had 2 daggers.
There's grumbling amongst them, but they let you inside, and you can head on in.
It's smart for the
Zara's
future because they
chamber.
might just only look for your 2 daggers.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Depends on how
Well-
good they want to keep their heads.
Once again, you find yourself in Zara's chambers. This time, you know, her meals she hasn't had dinner yet, or she's already had it and the plates are all gone. She's standing in front of the hearth with a ledger opened, flipping through some pages, making like mental notes to herself as you come in. And she'll give a glance over towards you and gesture to the table and give you the like, hold on, one moment gesture.
I go sit on the table, but I spend my time carefully observing her.
Yeah, she seems pretty engrossed in whatever this ledger is, and she'll slap it together. It's got leather bindings and just kind of soft vellum pages, or crispy vellum pages, I should say, and head back to the table and set it down off to the side. Standing at the table with her, you know, arms on the table, kind of looming over, she taps her fingers. I spoke
tap
with
my
your
fingers.
companions earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little worried about you. To be fair, you've always been a reliable, hardworking, relatively trustworthy operative. And they have completed their task in flying colors. You seem shook by a dead man. Is
Thought it was
everything okay?
The manner in which I found him.
Yeah, but
I think I
you're
just needed a
son
night
to
of
a
drinking.
king, great night. Surely you've seen hundreds of dead bodies before. Is everything okay?
usually when I find a dead body, it's because I've made the dead body. Normally you don't see it when it looks like somebody has climbed out of their chest and made them into a grotesque altar of gore.
Hmm. You know, you left last night. And for a moment there was a spark of the good old Renatus. Renatus Fur, who was always trying to flirt with someone, filled with confidence, filled with excitement and joy, had that taste of life. But in here, when it's just the two of us, you seem a lot more deflated.
Well, milady,
I'm asking
you
these
know me
questions.
well enough for me to let my guard down. The mask is for people who don't need to know the truth.
Hmm. I think I know what's happening.
You do?
Yeah. I think I know what's going on here. And I need, well, I would like the old Renatus Fur back.
If you would prefer the mask, milady, and I'll give her
No.
like a...
I appreciate honesty. Good work is hard to find. And you and your friends, to some extent, have been excellent work. I want to make sure that you stay in tip-top shape. There's dozens of orcs and goblins at my disposal, but they are brutish, short-sighted, dumb creatures who can't see the bigger picture.
I'll snort at that and say, I could have sworn you were describing humans.
Well, a lot of them are too. There's a couple of you that are rare breeds, and I like to cultivate good talent. And I think I know how to do that. We can get you, I can find a way to get your wife here. We have some things to do, but I'll find an excuse. Hopefully before the month is out, I can send a letter, something. Next time you see me, I'll have an update for you on this. But I want you to know that when you work for me, you're not just a random person. I'm invested in your future and your outcomes. You do well by me, I will do well by you.
You'll let me see her?
Let you see her. I will bring her here. I'll ask for her as the new ambassador or something to that end. I'll find an excuse to have her make a presence here. And then if the two of you want to find a way to make her residence permanent, you want to flee into the woods and live a secret life in the woods as long as you still come back and work with me, we'll make it happen. There's plenty of small villages and towns around here where the two of you could live a nice, comfortable life, and no one up in the north would ever be the wiser.
You're making it sound very tempting. Very well. You shall have the old Ren back. You bring me my wife, you'll have him.
Well, that's what I'm expecting. I don't expect you to be cured of your depressions overnight. But I don't want to lose you, Ren, as an asset.
Bring me my wife and you won't.
Good.
The only reason I've kept going.
She stands up from her kind of hunched over the table and reaches out a hand to shake yours.
I reach out and I shake her hand. And I give her a jaunty, performative kiss on the ring. Like, oh, my lady. Mwah.
Right.
As a sort of...
She opens the drawer, pulls out a bag, sets it on the table for you, shuts the drawer. For your hard work.
I give the bag a little jingle. What is it? How much money does that sound like?
Sounds like 50 coins, and by the sound of those coins hitting together, they sound like gold.
Coin is nice, but far more important to me is my wife. Thank you for your business, milady. Let me know if you have any more tasks of me.
Your friends are coming back in 2 days' time. Heading to Emberstone, I believe. We'll put some work together for you there. When the time you come back from Emberstone, if you are still traveling with them, I'll have news of your wife for you. Or at least
Perfect.
a plan to get her that I will make sure you approve of. I know she's important. I wouldn't want to hurry anything that needs to be done carefully.
Perfect. Consider me on board.
Have a good night, Renatus.
Good night, my lady.
All right. And you can leave, and you can head back with the party, or we can just skip to the whole party meeting in 2 days' time.
Let's skip 2 days' time, I think.
We do a
Yeah.
little
2
skippy
days'
skip.
time, 2 days' time, 2 days' time, 2 days' time.
Was Nick able to do any... Nick, are you doing any check-in with the potions?
Yeah, I don't think that it will kill me if I taste it slightly. I leave that to last. I do consistency. I do. Like I kind of work out: is it to be swallowed? Is it to be contacted?
Would it not be better just to feed it to like an animal?
Not really.
Okay, all right.
Would it usually be the case that a potion like this would have the same effect on an animal as it would on a human?
These are fantastic questions, but we're also talking about super high level,
Magic.
potions aren't around, so I think most of you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
The general guess would be why not?
Yeah.
Am
know,
I
it-
thinking that this is a magical potion made to be poison, or is it just a type of poison that's been extracted?
I tell you it is a magical potion.
Where did you get this from? The tomb?
The Tomb of the Torturer.
What makes you think it's a potion?
I show you that it says potion of poison on the label.
Okay. Well, would I know what the potion of poison does, Neil? Maybe I would.
It's poisonous. Yeah, it should kill you if you drink it.
Like, would it kill a high-level person?
Well, it's not just a regular poison. It's a potion. It's a magical poison. So you're not exactly sure what the effects are, but the intent is that it would kill someone, probably. And usually these are created by accident when someone like poorly brews an appropriate potion or makes a mistake and it turns the contents toxic. So maybe it's just a save versus death or die sort of situation, or I don't know.
Well, wizards aren't known for their high constitution. Like, Zara doesn't look particularly like beefy, does she?
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe
We
it
have
would
two
work.
of them. So I think this is a good option when we... I don't go into further details than that.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I hand it back to him. Keep careful watch over it.
I throw it into my bag of holding.
When we do you mind terribly if I speak to Zara myself about this trip?
You going alone?
Hmm.
If you
Well,
are, get me a horse for the trip.
I don't know if I can promise you that. Fine, you can come. You can come with me. I suppose it's no secret that I've told you my background.
Yeah, I know. You're a murderer, and I get it.
Yada 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 yada.
You're not taking Grau, though.
Yeah, no, Growl. Yeah, let's all go.
We'll bring the
Okay.
whole party.
The whole
Renatus
party.
might as well come, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right. It is 2 days later. You're going back to meet Lady Zara once more. I think this is our 4th meeting with her today.
Yeah.
You arrive. It's normal business hours, I do believe, when you get here.
So it's inside the same chamber with everyone around.
Yep, same chamber, everyone around. Couple of guards behind her, couple of guards at the door, other people hanging out, doing their things, saying, "Oh, Lady Zara, don't you know that I was supposed to be paid for rebuilding the palisade wall, but it's been 2 fortnights, and no coin has come my way." Lady Zara, asks for his name, asks if there's a work order, boring, logistics, administration.
These peasants
Boring,
waste our time.
And they have the wizard on this.
Yeah.
Oh, man, she's going to want to die.
Girl falls asleep.
Yep. That's
I,
fair.
Wait, do you
you're
turn
not-
into a... Oh, no.
Oh,
you're able
wait,
to sleep
shit.
now.
Wait, no, I don't anymore.
You can turn into
Not-
yeah.
You're good.
There's like a rough looking peasant next to me, and I as this woman's going on, I elbow him and say, another fucking peasant goes up there with some inane shit, I'm going to turn them into a frog.
Person snickers. The next person goes up, mentioning that, her son was killed by a guard, and the guard said that the son was doing treasonous activities, and that if she had a problem, she could take it to Lady Zara. Lady Zara asks for, where did this happen? When did this happen? What was the guard's name? Don't worry, we're going to take care of this. But, if it's found that your son was doing treasonous activities, you'll also be charged because you raised a treasonous son. So why don't you, and she has a guard pull her aside, and yeah.
Oof.
Then
To
it's
the
your
dungeon
turn.
she goes.
And it's our turn. Okay, I go up to her. I say, Zara, we have returned. Do you have the list of what you were looking for in Emberstone?
I do. And she will pull open a drawer, pull out a folded piece of paper, shut the drawer, and reach across the table to give it to you.
I look at the note and try and mentally kind of come to a figure that I think all of this might cost.
She has provided estimated costs on it.
Oh.
And at the bottom, there is a sum total.
Of how much we're getting paid or how much the shit's going to cost?
How much this shit is going to cost as you,
What is it?
look at it and read it. I haven't picked the components yet because you just gave me this quest.
Okay,
and
sure, but is it like
Yeah.
hundreds, or is it enough that I will need to ask for money up front? Is basically what I'm getting at.
It is going to be in the hundreds of gold.
Oh, yeah. we're gonna need
Probably
money
not
up front.
1,000, but
Okay.
probably the low hundreds.
I'll say, this is an extensive list. I have two thoughts. One is I'm afraid I don't, even with my recent wins with yourself, I don't have the gold to front this.
Didn't she give us? How much did she give us?
It was 400 gold, but it sounds like this is going to be over 500.
Yeah.
She just looks at you patiently.
Is there
We'd
any
like to-
chance the Empire could provide us with funds so that I could purchase these for you?
Are you familiar? Where did I put that note? Where did I put that note? Shit. We should have taken a break before this. Go to break. I needed to get information.
Go to break,
I'm wiping it to
quickly.
break.
Break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So she hands you the list. The list has on it bloodhound fur. She wants 5 doses of that. She wants 5 of these rare dusts. And she puts, scrawls something in the language of magic there and puts a price tag next to it. Each of these 5 samples of rare dust costs 400 GP. She needs 20 samples of sulfur, a glass rod.
Each
some
of them
undead
costs
bone.
400?
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
it's
I'm
really
doing
expensive rare dust.
I intend to do some spellcraft as this is happening, so I already hear
Yeah.
lightning bolt. I hear fireball, I think. So I have spellcraft, so I'm
Give me
gonna.
3
I will.
spellcraft checks, please.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. We're looking at number 1, 28.
Huge.
Number 2. Can't see that one. What was it?
17.
Oof, it's a 17. We'll go for the third. Oof, 16.
Ooh.
Bad rolls.
Classic.
Yeah. I know, yeah. What's fucking you?
So
What's
the
new?
bloodhound fur
Yeah.
is to the spell locate creature, a 4th level spell.
Is she looking for elves?
There's creatures? I guess, technically.
Yeah, have you ever met one?
Your mom's a creature.
Oh.
Somehow like the most scathing your mom joke
Uncalled
ever.
for. Yeah. She is Irish, but that's unfair.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey.
we've moved on. We're moving on.
So she is going to give us money then.
No, she tells you to contact Censor Wield while you're there. She will give you a note. She pulls out a piece of paper and begins to scrawl a note, calls for her wax and seal to be brought to her by a servant, and they do.
Perfect.
And she'll, melt some wax into this little thing, drip it on the paper, stamp her seal into it, hold it nice and tight, and then, hand the tools back. Cut the letter so it's just the one side of the letter that has the text and then the seal's right there. Turn the letter over and just kind of scribble across the back so that there's no room for anyone to like add context to her message.
I whispered to Ren,
and-
Ren, you should steal that seal.
He probably should.
What do I see? I see a seal.
Imagine.
I go to take the letter off her, and I lean in as I do it, and I speak in a lower voice, and I say, "Thank you, Lady Zara. You referred to me as Arrakis. I was not expecting this."
Oh, you went by some other name for a while, didn't you?
Where did you hear that name?
Drugs?
I take the letter and give a bow.
Where's the seal?
She handed it to a servant who left the room with it.
Motherfucker.
Go after him.
Sensor Weld will get you the funds you need for this one way or the other. She is my superior. You should be respectful when you speak to her. She is very tall. A little, not quite as old as he points in Ren's direction, but almost there. And she herself is a less graceful host than I am. My recommendation should be get in and get out quickly and quietly.
I whispered to Arrakis, and what about the payment?
I understand. Well, yeah, I kind of ignore that because I don't want to talk out of turn, but she did say that we'd get the money from this guy. I say, great, well, while I'm there, if I can find a supplier for these items, maybe you could arrange some sort of regular delivery. Would you like me to do that?
You would like to go into business for yourself. Oh, you mean regular delivery of these for me?
Yes.
She shakes her head.
Very well. I shall lead
Reach
you to your
out to you
business.
if I can find you, if I need your services again.
I bow and walk away with the letter, and I get the party. And I start, I put a hand around, August, and I motion him out, and I whisper to him, I say, we'll get the gold from the sensor
Yeah,
fella.
but she's not talking about our payment. The gold's just for this. I point to the things.
I'm sure we'll make good, and if not, we'll have bought some goodwill. I say as we
Shake my head.
leave.
Growl, once again, you're in this meeting and no one is talking to you, and you're just kind of standing there quietly.
Yeah.
Are you chill with that? Is that how Growl presents?
Growl in these meetings is being very observant, taking in everything, all the context, position of everything, how everyone moves together, how the guards move in position to her and stuff like that. And it's just being very on purpose quiet and trying to blend in a little bit. Who knows, maybe that makes him stick out more because he's looking around all the time, but he is very carefully thinking about everything and wants to plan his next move very carefully, and I think his behavior reflects that.
Got it.
He knows
Okay.
the consequences of human time and of going too fast, and he liked what the Fireflies were saying about long laid plans, and he wants to do this right. And he knows better than to have his emotions come over him in these moments.
Okay. Well, with that, the party can leave.
Yeah.
And unless
to
there's
Jaden.
something you need to do in Valebrook, we can go. Now, there had been talk, if we go to the map, there had been talk about going to Jaden to murder a captain of the guard there.
Liberate,
right. Is that something you want to do on the way to, get to Jaden, do that, and then bounce? Or is this...
I think so, yeah.
yeah.
That's the
I'll
plan.
talk to the party while we're on the road, and I'll say, it'd be quite dangerous for us to do it now. And I'll fill them in on the fact that Lady Zara said that she would bring my wife to Valebrook. Unless we're able to do it completely cleanly, it would get in the way of me possibly seeing my wife again. It would suit me far better if we waited until we were back from Emberstone to kill the captain. At the very least, then my wife might be in and around here.
I hear what you're saying, but I think the goal is to do it cleanly and unseen.
5 days later, the party is running through the streets with a head and a body.
Perchance, Neil, on our days traveling on this road, do we find ourselves in that tavern that we once visited between these two cities?
We can. I didn't know if there's anything you wanted to do in Valebrook before you left, though. No?
Yeah, no, I don't think so, no.
Okay. And we're on our way to Jaden. I can't remember the tavern you're talking about, but there are roadside taverns between Valebrook and Jaden. There's all sorts of little villages that you pass through, and many of them have taverns, and there are separate roadside taverns. Mm-hmm.
It is to one of these taverns that I wish to go. There was once upon a time when we passed through here, when we were very short of coin, and the bartender in one of these taverns, a great little place, we stayed there. He offered to tell us a story for 1 gold piece.
Oh, it wasn't a tavern. It was the little gnome guy.
Yeah, it was just
he was in a tavern, no?
No, he was just he was like at a stall on the side of the road.
Yeah, he had a traveling cart that would just sell drinks as he traveled around. Like it would unfold down.
Yeah, a mobile tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, a mobile tavern.
That's what I meant. Well, let me know if we run into the mobile tavern.
You know what? Roll me a D20 and roll high-ish.
That's no problem, because I'm going to get
Nick.
a 16 on this one. Okay. It's high-ish now.
Unfortunate. You see another roadside traveling tavern, but it's not the same one. It's a different guy.
Is it a gnome, though?
They're all gnomes.
Yeah, I imagine they're all gnomes.
It's quite a gnomish job.
It's a trio of female dwarves.
What the fuck? Okay, fine. We get some.
Not
drinks,
interested. Moving on.
We don't like dwarves.
You don't like dwarves?
in this
When did
house.
this happen?
I like dwarves. Nick has
about
an
eight- about
OOC
eight.
hate.
About 8 years ago.
You had one bad interaction with a dwarf 8 years ago.
Give it a fucking rest. One bad interaction. Let's move on before we have to have an argument about this.
2 bad interactions?
Well, dude,
Back me up here.
are the dwarves cool?
Yeah, I wanna learn about the dwarves.
Yeah.
I
All right.
roll my
The
eyes.
dwarves got their little roadside stall with some overhangs. What do you call them? Some awnings that fold out to give you a
Excellent
little bit of
craftsmanship.
shade. You know, they got 3-legged stools that come in the small variety and the tall variety. And you can tell by looking at them, the stools are designed in such a way that they would like easily stack on top of one another. So you could
Smart.
tuck them away in the cart and move pretty easily. The 3 female dwarves, one of them is clearly a bodyguard. Like, she's got some chainmail on. She's got a battle axe that she just kind of like keeps her hand rested on, and she's got them like steely eyes that isn't
Beard
trusted
or no
nobody.
beard?
No beard. No.
No beard. Okay.
The other 2 are your classic barmaid dwarves with like the corsets with the everything pushed way up and the lowest possible neckline, and like kind of the hair and the big poofy balls that come out. You know, one person has pigtails, the other has just like these big round balls on either side of their head, and they've got these beautiful floral prints on them, and they're just like the most chatty, friendly dwarves you've ever met. And they're speaking in common when you show up. They're not even speaking in Dwarven. They're creating such a welcoming environment for traveling people. You know,
What's
they're
like
really
the-
trying to.
Size difference between a gnome and a dwarf.
A dwarf is larger in height, like maybe 30% larger, but like 3 times the weight. Dwarves are very stocky, and gnomes are pretty slender.
Big boned.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They serve food?
Do you ask them for food?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sir, of course, my fine little friend. Of course we have food. We have for you the greatest of dwarven pretzels and dwarven flat meats.
Which mountain do you guys come from?
Oh,
Can't just
bless your
ask them that.
heart. He just thinks we all come from mountains, don't we? Well, I'll have you know, good sir, I was born in a city, a human city. I'm from Falaror.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm from a castle.
I'm from far away. Can I have 1 flat meat and 1 pretzel, please?
Of course. And she'll take out a chunk of meat and this big old, like, spiky hammer thing and start just beating the shit out of the meat on a piece of what do you call it, cutting board before
like to, like,
flipping it over
tenderize
onto a
it?
hot griddle. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What's
Nice.
the
And as
meat
it
of?
begins to sizzle, you can probably smell it. Give me a grub skill check.
My grub skill's 11. Roll 1d20 plus 11. 16.
It doesn't smell like beef, and it doesn't look like chicken, doesn't smell like pork.
Is that
Who
horse?
knows?
Lamb?
She looks
Dare
at you
ask.
again. Oh God, these human horse. No. Not. We may have occasionally some issues with horses, easily startled, giant dumb beasts. But we wouldn't serve you any horse. No, my friend. This is half rabbit and half other wild, easily available animal. That's a mammal that you eat sometimes.
Ostrich.
Wild boar. Venison.
Wow, half rabbit and half venison. Thank you.
like a magical
Ostrich.
creature, like a chimera, or
No, we take half the meat from rabbit, half the meat from
I thought it was
from a
like
deer, slap them together, and then add the right combination of herbs and spices. You wouldn't guess how many there are.
12.
I'm gonna guess 5.
You're both wrong, but it's fantastic. And she will serve you her flat meats and serve everyone up some nice ales.
Uh,
I drink it.
Grouse scarfs it down, immediately orders 3 more.
Ah, man of fine taste and large bellies. How do you fit so much food in that tiny belly? They say as they make you more flat meat. Just kind of making friendly conversation. You know, I've seen many a men pack away meal after meal, but you've got an appetite as big as mine.
You know,
You got an appetite as big as a bear.
I've been told this before, yeah. Don't really know why.
How much does this all cost, by the way? I say after we're eating.
It's part of your monthly traveling expenses, they say.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
That's fantastic.
I'll have 100.
All right.
Times were hard with the dwarfs.
Okay.
Great dwarven experience, Nick. See?
I eat the meat and drink the ale begrudgingly.
I
I enjoy it. I enjoy it begrudgingly.
They're not from a random mountain, you know? These are city dwarves.
City dwarfs.
attempt
Could you describe the flavor of this meal and the drink, like using real world food? Like, I want it. Is it like mint meat? Is it like a hoppy beer? Like, give me your best description, please.
Well, I would assume with the way the meat
tastes
is
like rabbit.
with the way the meat is pounded, like texture wise, we're somewhere in like the schnitzel kind of region, but not the like Austrian or German type of schnitzel, the ones that they serve in like northern Italy that aren't actually breaded, right? That are just like kind of fried off in a skillet and then have some like lemon sauce on them or something. Texture wise, I think we're there somewhere, like very flat, very thin, almost like the texture of like stir fry meat that's like super thin, but then it has all those like gamey elements to it that kind of elevate it and make it all a little bit funky and weird, and all those spices and everything.
It tastes like something exotic or something adventurous. You know, you don't normally mix these two flavors together, and the meats cook at slightly different rates. So some of it is like a little bit more tender, and some of it's a little bit more, well done. And you just get a nice confluence of exotic woodland flavors, which if you're maybe too hoity-toity, you wouldn't like. But anyone who's had to travel and eat whatever they can find, like this is camping food done right. This is like gourmet. In San Francisco, there was a place that had these gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, which always struck me as weird. But this is the medieval equivalent of the gourmet oatmeal or grilled cheese or something.
The pretzels, though, kind of mid. I think they overwork the dough a little bit.
It's hard to get lie out here.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
dwarven hands.
Yeah. Grau enjoys this meal a lot, and Grau, not knowing a lot about the position of dwarves in this culture, tries to kind of find out how, the dwarves live under the empire and their kind of history with it, and how maybe their ancestors would have lived and how that compares to now. Just kind of trying to suss out like were you guys, you know, do you guys have a history with the Empire? Is there like is there bad blood? Is there, how is, you know, how do dwarves kind of fit into this part of society?
Now, you're asking sort of a sensitive question. Maybe people are cool with answering it. Maybe, you know, you're asking someone how much racism they've experienced. And it's just not the sort of question that you might normally come up in conversation. So I'm going to need a charisma check from you, Grau.
The way
do this in a way.
I'll give you the check. I'll describe how I want to do that, or how I want to frame this. I think it's kind of a conversation of like, you roll up at the pub and you're like, so the Tories, huh? Like, casual
they fucked
politics,
us over, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. Yeah. Give me a charisma check at a +4 then. That's a pretty solid bar room chitter chatter.
Here you go.
Nice. 26 modified. Yeah. So you ask about Empire and dwarves. And a little hemming, a little hawing. The two, you know, the guard stays silent, but the two waitresses, bartenders, go, well, you know, I think it's probably the same down here as it was up there. Empire does their thing. You stay out of their way. They stay out of your way, unless they need something from you. But hey, keep a low profile. No one's going to be any the wiser. Now, I'm old enough. You'd be surprised at my age. I'm old enough that I remember life before them very well. This is just a recent flare-up. And if you ask me, I know they're big and scary, but they're going to die down eventually. Maybe, 50, 60, 70 years before they're all gone? Life will get back to normal once again. And if it ever gets too dangerous, we've got some family. Pretty distant, but good old clans will always welcome you in with open doors. As long as we keep our heads down, they're not too problematic. They're not huge fans of recruiting dwarves for armed services. Something about our length of our legs, keeping up with armies, timetables for movement. So I think it's probably actually a little easy. On the other hand,
you have distant families, so you can seek shelter too if things go wrong. That's very lucky. It's a great
thing about being dwarves. Yeah. Always got family. And family with long memories, too. You can find your ancestral clan from the Age of Might and convince them that you're one of them. They'll welcome you with open arms, put you up in a house, bring you into the family fortune, family trades, easy peasy. Yeah.
Rao introspects on this a lot and kind of looks into his flat meat.
You're a forest gnome, aren't you? We haven't really met many forest gnomes. They're more, up in, what used to be the Elven Woods. Where'd you come from? Fine traveler?
Oh, I'm from further. There's more forest gnomes further away than that, very far. You wouldn't know.
He's from far away.
There's still lands out there that, and he kind of stumbles over his words.
Is the Empire part of your homeland too?
I'm not. Grau thinks. You could say that.
They add a little more fish sauce to the meat as it cooks. And how's your family doing under it?
Grau doesn't know how to navigate a conversation that he doesn't, or how to elegantly get out of a conversation like this. He's not learned this yet. And he doesn't really know what to say, and the conversation's actually making him quite sad.
I think I will kind of speak up and say, I don't think he likes to talk about it. It's not been pretty for any of us.
They put their hands up like, what can you do about it? Well, at least the roads are safe. Helps a person like us, people like us get around,
True. At least the roads are safe.
Roads are safe.
Although not too safe. South of Valebrook, we saw some quite disturbing things on the road. I'd keep to the road between Jaden and Valebrook if I were you.
Hey, nothing south of Valebrook worth a damn anyway. It's just wasteland and woods, which is wasteland as far as I'm concerned.
You go far
Well-
enough, there's a whole city down there.
There's Arkfeld,
City?
yeah.
Shrug.
Never heard of a
Ci-
city called Arkfeld.
Well, it's more of a town than a city, but still.
I was
It's a
talking about the
shithole
place
on
beyond.
the edge of a forest.
The place beyond. I don't know what's south of the Great Woods.
Oh, you dwarves, you should go adventuring. There's a lot of things down there.
Oh, you humans, always getting into trouble, finding all sorts of ancient stuff, just rolling up your sleeves and jumping into things. You're such precious creatures, you know?
Nothing to lose, right? We'll be dead by tomorrow anyway. Well, not tomorrow, but
Well,
soonish.
you know, you go out fast, but you go out bright, like a meteor or a fireball. What a life.
Yep. Well, cheers to that.
Yep, once you're done, they'll pack up the cart and begin on moving down the road, and you guys can head towards Jaden. Now, we don't have enough time for you to kill a town guard captain in Jaden, but we do have enough time to at least lay the land here, because Jaden is a small town. It's one of the smaller towns here in this area, and its primary purpose vis-a-vis the Empire of Verasi is that it's got a little outpost, like a little fort where they can stash supplies. And that way, if any Verasi people are moving through and they need something, they can just like pull up to the fort and requisition some supplies. And that is the fort where this guy's captain. That's the little outpost. They don't run town security. They run like a supply depot, because Jaden's at an important crossroads. And that supply depot is
Lord,
a repurposed warehouse in the middle of town that has been confiscated, and then had its windows boarded up or something, increased fortifications added, a couple of guards posted, little barracks there, and then a big gate where supplies can come in and out. We'll get into the deets of it all next time when we actually go through with this plan, if we decide to go through with this plan.
Wait, so is there a warehouse and a fort?
The
Or is the
warehouse
fort-
been
the warehouse is the
converted
fort?
into a fort.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the guy is in the warehouse.
His post is in the warehouse. He might be out at any given point in
Yeah, sure.
time. He might, as a captain, he might not have to live in this place. He might have an actual house nearby that he has requisitioned. Or maybe he lives in the warehouse. We'll have to do a little bit of snooping and asking questions to figure out the details of all of these positionings.
Yeah, I mean, I float to the party like, what if we use this note here to draw the captain out to a secret meeting, and then, we kill him under the cover of darkness?
The note is written to Censor Willed. I don't know if you care what it says, but it says it's specifically written to her in her name.
But it's not like in an envelope, is it?
Nope, it's a folded note that you were handed with the magistrate's seal.
So what does
on
that
one
actually
side.
say?
Censor Willed. These 5 people are purchasing supplies on my behalf in Holy City Emberstone. Rather than have them travel with large amounts of cash, would you please arrange payment to the store on my behalf? I will write to you shortly with further updates on our elven problems.
Interesting.
Long live Oris. Hail Verasi. Hail Willed. Magistrate Zara.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can still kind of like show the letter to the guards and say that the message is not for them. But
Yeah.
here's Magistrate Zara's seal, so do what we say, basically. It's an option. Anyway.
Okay. Well, that will wrap us up for today. Any final questions, concerns, comments? No?
No,
No?
I'm excited to go and kill the captain next time.
All right.
we got a
next
clear
session.
goal. We got a clear overarching goal. What could be better? What more could we need? I'm loving it.
Hey, if you're watching right now, we're filming another episode of Hardly Heroes tomorrow. Your Patreon support is what pretty much makes all of this possible. So if you got a few bucks, you want to watch the newest episode before it goes on YouTube, please go to patreon.com/saveordie. Sign up for any of the tiers. If you want to ask questions for our after show, that'll hopefully happen next week. You can sign up to the Goblin tier, but if you just want to watch it, you can sign up to our lowest tier, which is the Kobold tier, and we'd really appreciate it. So,
And the
see you guys.
first 5
Thanks.
people to sign up this month get a free personal chef experience by Koibu. He will travel to your home, to your kitchen, and cook flat meat for you.
That's
Perfect.
right. We start out with a
sausages.
sausage. We cook it for 35 minutes on a
right.
frying pan, and then we flatten it with a rolling pin.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Ciao.
Cheers, lads.